scratch and overview, of course, we handle cases of different of the scans there towards populations. The population can tell you, of course, that people are needed somewhere. Some people says, yeah, it's better we add people, and then if you go every whole cities is like a world war, because everywhere people first they have to take evidence of the city. That's why we have plenty of people. First they have to see the city investment, and then put the pitch of the city first. That's why they are taking the evidence from that purposes. And then why? Because population become too contagious. People normally don't come out. Normal people don't do different cases related. And then on which we investigated if it's a situation of different. I was here 2004, and then I landed as a new migrant, and of course we are not in downtown areas. If this apartment is downtown apartments, and then we were warned as a travelers and as a migrant to these countries, we were warned. They said which area is it too difficult, don't go and stay over. If you stay over, you won't even see people down there. So Simcoe area, the market, they say it is very, very too difficult. If you stay around there, you won't see even a child, you won't see even nobody coming around, and then you'll be isolated for good, of course. And then the areas like addition Dandas by such as government housings, they mark some areas. They say those areas you won't see people around. So if you go to places like, of course, this one Gippsland, you go to places like Warncliffe, because that is a university students area, and a university student, of course, if you are after youth, you want youth, of course, youth force, and then of course myself, I'm a youth, you are youth. If you are dealing with youth, and then your purpose is to make, of course, this city united, and then this city stand with a good population outside on daily basis as a hardworking people. And then because youth are the only hardworking people, if you are not a youth, even you cannot survive, and then you cannot even contribute, you cannot even claim to us that you are at work, unless you are self, you say, yeah, I'm a youth and I stand as a youth, and I will contribute the work to the people. That's when you will be able to. So those areas, some areas they did not say so, some areas they mark, they say it is not too good. Don't stay over, and then don't take it as a home. If you make it a home, they already mark it, they said they have problems over those kind of areas. Nobody, even you won't see nobody. So therefore, if such thing is happening, of course, this is this city, and then also I involved with the circumstances of this one. Yeah, they're saying, yeah, if for me I go this route here, I will see 41 people before getting to this one, to the city mall. Down there, I will see 41 people on the street. But here, this city, I know is this one. For me, they really estimated population of this city, London, for me is this 3 million people here, 6 million people here. That's my concentration for this city of London, Ontario. I'm seeing 6 million people, of which 3 million people, they are employed full times, they are at work, and then 3 million people, they are at home, idle, and then they are the one popping out. They will pop out on the street, and then run and buy things, and then run and greet people, and then run and talk to people, and then go back again, and then they, of course, they do also they do let me go as peace of mind at their own risk and comfort. As we talk of comfort, ways to engage on sexual act worldwide include jack of enjoyment, of course, as this bank is proud. Canada is proud. Sexual misconduct is not proud in Canada. Pure Uber or pure Canada has seen sedition or Uber become a public open doors. How much weakness did Uber have as a Sudanese East African Canadian abroad? Is it affiliated with the Canadian or world populations? Does Uber claim she can make the Canadian or world functions go out of hands? What is the real time facing different Uber and the business Canada world? Is Uber sold to close a Canadian world? Is Uber a new Canadian business report abroad? I see, because I judged, and then of course I also act. Of course I also evaluated the situations of the Canadian world, the Canadian street kids, the use across anywhere Dundas Street. Doesn't invest in fashions, coming into the street and dressed and neat and very dirty on daily basis. Does those cause additional urban death? I mean that those kids and they use 100% Uber course, and they are him or her. So does those others really for sure yield a profit out of those areas? If this is London will say I'm London and Middlesex County. So London will say I'm London and Middlesex County, and then on which there is a police force, the police will say I'm a police force. I authorize you, and then this is your charges, don't breach probations. One priorities. And then the Canadian homeless shelter will say, yeah, my orders remain different. From this hour to this hour, don't sleep. I wake you up, go out, and then do work, go look for jobs. Okay, fine. And then thirdly, the immigration started will say, yeah, you come to these countries, what is your education level? If this one approve for me your educations, if once you prove the educations, the population is here, the population is good. So what is the priority code here for you to involve this one, coming to these countries where the population in this country is very good? That's why if you see Canada itself is talking of the homeless shelters, then the population here roughly could be good. So if the population itself is not good, and then what is the rival levels that the police will say? For me, they will say, for you, they will say, for the other one, they will say it, and then don't breach probation with these people. I want these people to isolate that end down there, and then don't go to them. And then I want these people to be pushed that end, don't go to them. So if that's the situations, I myself, if they say let me not go to those people, what I know is this one. I will scan to this city. I will say, yeah, if for me here, this city is different. 6 million people. In these 6 million people, I will still survive. I will first look. I will first see the situation. I will act the situation. I will judge the situations. And then I will begin evaluating if these cities, if I can survive without talking to these people. What is their major objectives? What is that will push me back to them again? If it's stores, if it's a city mall, of course, if it's a city mall, is a big dilemma, because the city mall has 500 people there. Of course, another guy I did not fight with, and then they will say, yeah, you will be called by one of them, and then that way it will create weaknesses for these countries, and then it will even begin to demolishing the countries. If myself I cannot agree with the other one, which I did not fight with, and I cannot go there at all. So if it's a residential homes you fight from, and then the police make statements, don't breach here, of course, yeah, that is because it's a residential, it's a personal order, is a families, you fight with the families. Why shall you be going to that families? So you should be making yourself, you should be declaring, yeah, the population here is good, I will make a new families. That's what you should tell to the police. On that very occasions, they make that statement too. If London say, yeah, I'm in Middlesex, of course, you make a breach of probation. So the person, individual, married to individuals, and then they caught you guys in sexual act. So in those criteria, those people, they were mentalized, they put them in mental illness, they put them in several situations. So those circumstances, they are affected. So shall those be the related issues? Shall those be the impacts, and then what resolutions you should bring to individuals supposed? So that's the situations. If it's the situations of this one of the lockdown, the guy which is locking the doors, how is their impact? Is it related to this one, to the Canadian Middlesex County issues? Or is it the issues of the police, don't breach here, don't breach there, and then they were locked down because you stayed to these countries over 60 years, and then you are already no longer in need of those people. They already fed up because of your order. We write on the population, fed up of me. You are fed up of me, they are fed up of you, and then that is already the overfeed of you, so they don't want you. So that is the situation. If that's the situation, what are the required solutions? So I scratch this, the cities 1, the cities 2, the cities 3, the cities 4. There we write 7 million population, 9 million population, 7 million population, 9 million population by those cities. If it's metropolitan cities, so if Lagos says I need addition 22 million people there, of course this is Lagos. And then if addition London, England says I need addition 9 million people or residents, and then that is, of course, the population is big. They want that much for that consecration. What about people like Khartoum? What about people like this London where I'm speaking, London, Canada, and then Toronto, and then 6 million, 7 million, they need those kind of people. The people like Nairobi, people like addition. If you talk of people like UK, London, and then people like addition New York City, and then that is a big city. People like Lagos, New York City, and then London, England. That is the 3 cities there. They need like 9 millions for them to survive there, to say that these people, we need them that much over this earth for that purposes, So if we talk of cities, of course, that's 6 to 7 millions. Of course, that's the expenditure estimates of the populations, people, of course, of viewing and then seeing that they need that much for that purposes and for that reasons. Otherwise, if it comes to this one, to the resolutions, there is no resolution at all. That is basically your orders, basically your do's, and basically their do's, because that is a small act. If that is your act, that is because you are you, and then whatever, how hard you are working, and then you said you are at work, yes. And then if the population is there, of course you cannot know, and then you expect you don't, and then that is why it is the criteria. That is basically to do with this one, to do with your addition, interactions, and then your unifications within the populations, alongside the populations. If the populations adapt, we are you, and then of course nobody even will, whatever 1,000 million questions they ask, you remain you, and then you do your jobs. That is all the individuals, of course, from wherever scratch to wherever possibilities. That is every individual's do's and their act on overviews, of course. Because myself, if I said I am in this city, I'm in the other city, and then what I do remain the understanding of those people, and then what we expect are things they are most required. On occasions, of course, that is me, a white hazard, as is taught.